we're a cloud contact center based company based on a bunch of frustrated contact center people who said there's got to be a better way to do what we're doing. So they looked at all the different folks out there in contact 8x8, 5.9s. They said, we'll build our own. And they did. And everybody likes it. They went to Enterprise Connect, showed it to a bunch of people, and they said, where do we buy that? And they realized, hey, we got something we can sell here. So people say, well, what makes you different? Why you guys versus somebody else? And I think our biggest differentiator is that we built this from the ground up. We built a platform. So we're not using else's, it's ours. But we build it in such a way that if there's something you really want, or something you don't want, or something you like, but you say, I'd like to change it a little bit, we give you the ability to do that. We say, we'll give you access to the code. And people seem to resonate with that because they say, good. Because I say, I want something, and most companies tell me, yeah, that's on our roadmap. It'll be here sometime in 2016, 2017. Hey, in 2016, 2017, what you want may not even be around anymore, may not be important anymore. We say, if you want something, let's build it right now. And we can either build it, or if you've got developers on staff that can do it, we'll give you access to our code so that they can actually go in and create what they want, or change, or get rid of what they don't want. So I don't know if any of that makes sense.
Do you see that a lot when people are building with API?
Yeah.
What do you see the most? Like, what do you see trending?
Usually small changes. Say somebody says, all right, the way we've done this for years, that if somebody wants to invite a supervisor to come on the call with them, they press the number 4. But our system says, well, it's the number 7. And they say, we don't want to teach everybody that. And we say, well, then let's go in and just make that change, and it won't affect anybody else. Probably the easiest way to describe it is my iPhone that I carry around. It's got a bunch of apps on it that Apple didn't write, that somebody else wrote. They use the iOS platform. That's the platform. We've got the same thing. It's just a platform we call Summit, and we give people the ability to create apps to go on top of that platform. So I talk about contact centers. That's a great stay for us because that's where we got started. But we don't have to do contact centers. Any kind of hosted PBX seat, SIP trunks, we do all that stuff.
So you can have 50 call center seats with 50 administrative seats.
Happens all the time.
All on the same enterprise.
Yep.
Do you provide your own circuits, or is it bring your own data?
Yeah, it's a great question. We can work with people who want to bring their own bandwidth, but we prefer to control that so that there's just one hand to shake if there's a problem. So we contract with all the major carriers and say, we want to control that network piece of it. And so we'll order that up, whatever works best for that particular situation.
What kind of, do you use any certain type of handset?
Yeah, we have Polycom as our standard. We just signed an agreement with Yaley, and so those are our 2 standard. Some people will ask, well, I just invested a bunch of money in a bunch of ShoreTels, or I'm on a Cisco deal, or a Avaya, or whatever, and we try and work with those. We'll do the very best we can to make sure that we can layer in on top of those. But those are our standards.
Do you ever do just a contact center piece of an enterprise where they're on a standard CPE, PBX, or maybe another hosted provider? And do you ever just do the layover or not?
Yep, we do.
You do.
Yeah. And so, and a lot of people say that's where I need to get started because I'm under contract with this or I'm doing this. We have people that come to us just for that platform, just to say, I want to be able to have flexibility. So that's a great question that happens.
And I think for your customer, it's a different conversation. Instead of saying, here's the solution and most of these features will work for you, it's what do you need, what do you want, let's tailor fit it for exactly what you're doing. It gives them the ability to have a lot more flexibility with this type of solution.
Was call recording part of it?
Yep. In fact, most call centers are less than 50 seats in all reality. we think call center or contact center, we think of a sea of cubicles with people with headphones on, and that's great. But the reality is most companies that have call centers, that's not the case at all. They're at home, or they work in the accounting department, but they're part of a group. And we have a basic program out right now that has reporting, IVR, ACD, all that stuff built right into it, and it's $55 a seat. And that seems to be getting some interest to people say, well, that's what I want. I just don't want to pay that big money for my small little call center, my small contact center.
What about incoming and outgoing calls? I mean, is that seat charge? Does it include long distance? Is it that seat charge plus the long distance calls that are coming into the call center?
Yeah,
How does that work?
seat charge plus the long distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only on what the average long distance price
Yeah,
is?
only on one leg.
So the incoming, not the outgoing.
Right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, because it's already
Do you
built
know
in.
about what?
The rate is?
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head. It's very competitive.
Yeah,
I mean, we can follow up with you for sure.
I'm guessing that it's just less or
Penny.
just more than a penny.
Yeah. It's right, very competitive.
What about your data centers? Do you have redundant data centers?
Yeah, great question. Actually, it's more than redundant. It's active. We've got a data center in Chicago, Cermak, one in Kansas City, and those are constantly running active. So even if we lose one data center, the call won't even drop because they're being duplicated in each data center.
And then we also have them in London and Amsterdam, duplicated in Europe, so we're global, and those are just going up with some pops in New York.
Yep, LA and Singapore are the next ones that we'll bring online. So we own our own network between those data centers.